Hello everybody and welcome back to Typical City. Manchester United have been dismantled, destroyed, humiliated, obliterated, capitulated at Old Trafford. The swamp has become boggier. They are in turmoil. That club is a disgrace right now because we humiliated them in that second half. A complete domination of the historic, prestigious Manchester United. It was a fantastic second half performance. A first half performance that wasn't bad by Manchester City, but there were moments in the game where I thought, we're giving it away a little bit. United are springing the odd counter-attack due to our mistakes, but once we nullified those mistakes and reduced those mistakes to next to none, we completely dictated the play. Pep Guardiola sent them out with a cool and composed head in that second half and dismantled them, destroyed them. That second goal was just a delight. I know all the talk is now going to be about that first goal. Was it a penalty? Wasn't it a penalty? It was a penalty by the letter of the law. I think we all have to admit the rules need addressing and need to be enforced properly because, if you're Manchester City, you're claiming that all day long. You cannot put your arms around a player like that. But the issue that United fans will likely say is you see that every week. You see it every week. Sometimes it's a penalty, sometimes it's not a penalty. That's why Manchester United fans will make the point that it should never have been given. But at the end of the day, it's only 1-0 at that point. There's no reason to come out and play completely nonchalantly in the second half to a point where you're just being ghosted past. You weren't even trying. They were being jogged past. Rodri was just ghosting past Marcus Rashford. Who's quicker out of Marcus Rashford and Rodri? Who's quicker? You know full well Marcus Rashford beats Rodri in a pace race all day long. But Rodri was just gliding past him and ghosting past him with the ball, and Marcus Rashford was going, never mind, he's past me. That's an attitude problem, a major attitude problem. And that's a lad that was born into Manchester way of life. A Mancunian that is a Manchester United fan, and he's giving up in a Manchester derby. They might blame Erik ten Hag, they might blame the Glazers, they might blame everyone else but themselves, but the whole club as a unified unit, they are not united. As in the term United. They are Manchester United, but they are not united in any way, shape or form. The only team I saw that was a united, bonded group of individuals were the Manchester City players. And those Manchester City players did the Manchester City fans incredibly proud in that second half. I do want to apologise for everyone who joined me in the watch-along, mind you, because there was some horrible lagging going on. I'm hoping it's a YouTube thing and not a me thing because I'm looking around, I'm seeing a few other people that have been struggling as well. So I do apologise. My numbers were atrocious thanks to that. So anyone who stuck around, loads of you stuck around with me being... I really appreciate that, guys. Honestly, I really appreciate that for sticking around and helping me grow as a channel because I have just started properly at the start of this season. So to help me early on with the lagging issues, really appreciate it. On a day when I personally didn't need much cheering up because the City team did it themselves with a fantastic 3-0 win. Erling Haaland slots that penalty in beautifully, sending Onana the wrong way. He should have made it 2-0 before we even go into the break at half-time because that header there, if he just guides that into the bottom right-hand corner, really, it was a bit of a misguided header. It's heading a ball accurately into a corner is a hard skill, an underappreciated skill of how difficult it actually is to guide it exactly where you want. You have a rough idea when you're heading the ball, but it's so difficult to be precise with your heading accuracy, and he really got underneath it a little bit too much. He almost approached it too soon. Onana produced a decent save. It made it savable for Onana, but if he puts it into that 5-yard gap that he's nowhere near that, and that's 2-0 at half-time. But there is no mistaking that second goal. The move was absolutely sensational. Some of the football, the playing out it got, I'm sure it started with Edison. I'm going off my memory right now. Receiving the ball, I'm sure Rodri and Kyle Walker were involved early on as well as Edison. Kyle Walker knocking it into Rodri with a guided ball to Alvarez. I'm pretty sure it was Alvarez who switches the ball to Bernardo Silva or to Grealish. No, it was Grealish who received the ball, bringing it down, waiting for the overlap of Bernardo Silva, and then he receives the ball from Jack Grealish and he dinks that ball back post. Erling Haaland, you cannot give Erling Haaland that amount of space and expect to get away with it. You're going to get punished, and punished they got, massively so. And at 2-0, I'm panicking still. I'm thinking, well, there's pretty much a whole half of football to play. At least 40 minutes of football to play. No way is this over. And then 10 minutes later, I'm looking at the United players and their body language and their attitudes, and I'm like, they're done. They're fucking finished. They are finished right now. They have given up. Down tools in a Manchester derby with 40 minutes to go. It's only 2-0. And they're giving up, some of them. They weren't even moving around the pitch properly, allowing players just to glide past them. And then Haaland, brilliant bit of play from Erling Haaland. The awareness to receive that ball on the rebound. You're thinking you're on a hat-trick, mate. You're on a hat-trick. Are you going to shoot this? Because if you do and get a hat-trick away at Old Trafford in a Manchester derby, that would be Erling Haaland in a nutshell. But what is Erling Haaland in a nutshell isn't the greed, isn't the fame and the fortune. It's the team ethic, the appreciation of winning, not the appreciation of me. It's all about winning and the team as a unified, connected unit, Manchester City, and that's what matters to Erling Haaland. And he sees Phil Foden with all the space in the world. Phil Foden, who wasn't poor, but not having his greatest game, a little bit sloppy here and there. But Erling Haaland says, Philip, you're a Mancunian young lad. Go and get yourself an easy goal. Here you go, mate. A little 5-yard pass, slotted right across the face of goal. Tap in for Phil Foden. Knee slide in front of... Can you think of that? Being a Manchester lad, knee sliding to make it 3-0 with a City shirt on. In front of the City away fans who are going balmy in the corner of Old Trafford to win the 3 points in a Manchester derby. It doesn't get sweeter than that as a Mancunian. It really doesn't get sweeter than that. It was a delightful goal overall. The second goal has to go down as an incredible team goal. Really good. But the overall play, Bernardo Silva was sublime. Absolutely sensational from Bernardo Silva. He was everywhere tonight. Everywhere. Impacting it in every way imaginable. Defensive work, midfield duties, receiving the ball, keeping the ball, passing the ball. Absolutely sensational. His link-up play with Grealish in particular. Grealish needs a massive mention for his overall contribution. And I think we now need to accept the whole Grealish versus Doku debate. I don't want to talk about that anymore. I want to talk about the fact that we have Jeremy Doku and Jack Grealish. They both play for Manchester City and both are incredible players in very different attributes, in very different styles, but both play for Manchester City. And we need to stop pitting these players against one another and putting them next to each other as a team. It's like, we need you, Doku, today. We didn't need you today. We needed Jack Grealish. And what a performance Jack Grealish put into the Manchester City team today, because his dictation, it wasn't just the simple stuff with Jack Grealish today. He did the difficult things, the intricate passing. He sent Erling Haaland through for a one-on-one to make it a hat-trick as well. A little dink over Onana. Onana gets hit in the jaw. That was a Jack Grealish through ball. Jack Grealish was involved in pretty much everything today. Pretty much everything. And the link-up play with Bernardo Silva was fantastic, but it is Bernardo Silva that was the nucleus. He was just everywhere, literally everywhere on that pitch. He was picking it up as centre-back. He was playing alongside Erling Haaland. He was playing alongside Foden on the right side of the pitch. He was playing alongside Jack Grealish on the side of the pitch. There was different 5-minute spells for Bernardo Silva to play his game in all the dangerous areas of the pitch, and even the less so dangerous areas, more so towards receiving the ball from Edison. It was just an incredible performance, and not the first time we've seen Bernardo Silva put in a performance like that at Old Trafford. He deserved a goal. He's had goals at Old Trafford before. He scored more than one. I remember the little sneaky goal at the near post where no one in Old Trafford even realised it had gone in against David De Gea, who should have saved it at his near post. And then there was I'm sure it was a League Cup goal where he smashed it top corner from about 30 yards out, Bernardo Silva at the other end. It was absolutely brilliant. But Bernardo Silva, again, at Old Trafford, turning up when we need him. Sensational performance. A sensational performance from Manchester City. I do want to apologise for those that tuned in, hoping for a better stream. I hope you found one elsewhere. Someone else who's got lucky and the lags weren't affecting them quite as much. They were horrible on my stream today. Nothing to do with the internet. I won't be allowing that to happen again in future. Hopefully, if I can have a say to anything to do with it, at least. If YouTube are cocking up, I can't do much about that, unfortunately. But hopefully, not the same next time. Come and join me for the next one. Please do. It really helps. And 3 points, that's all it really was today. 3 points in the bag again. We can celebrate it as a Manchester derby, but at the end of the day, we just beat a mid-table team. That's all it was. We shouldn't celebrate too hard. It's enjoyable to beat Manchester United. 3 points. That's all it was. You know, now we've got to go again. We've got to go again. When we play Liverpool's coming up shortly, we'll have to beat them. Arsenal in the long distant future now at the end of the second half of the season, we've got to beat them. You know, these are the teams that matter now. United, irrelevant. We've just beaten a mid-table team. 3 points, enjoyable. Give it one of them to the United fans on Monday morning and all that stuff. Very enjoyable. I enjoy doing that. But 3 points is all it was today. Get in. Blues, get in the comments below. What are your predictions going forward? What's your reaction to this particular game? How far do you think City can go this season in the Premier League? Do you think we're going to win it again? Are we going to get a four-peat? Because that second half performance smelt of a title-winning performance. It really did. Get in the comments below. I really want to hear your thoughts. Like and subscribe. Typical City is the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.
This is Typical City now, holding up silverware.